You know, I think we lean a lot in this business on, did you win the press conference? Did you lose the press conference? Was the press conference a draw? I don't think there's any doubt between the three of us. We haven't discussed it yet, but that was really impressive. I mean, that's a guy who very clearly delineated to me what he wants his program to be, with a track record of success, articulated it beautifully. I don't see that as anything but a win. Verbiage is very important when you come into a new situation. And the fact that he said downstate, I was writing it down, downstate, the best high school in the country, that this was an area that they recruited even when he wasn't in the state. So he understands certain catchwords and phrases that reign supreme in the mind of Illini Nation. That was huge to me, Shon.
And in addition to raising expectations, he talked about winning. I thought what really stood out to me, guys, was the fact that he's like, you know what? I don't get caught up in how many stars a guy has. I know what I want. I'm going to go find that person. And so, yes, everyone talks about recruiting. It's become a cottage industry. But while he was raising expectations, he was also starting to manage them a little bit, saying, look, you've got to trust me. I know what I want. I know what I'm going to go find. And I don't care what someone else says. If I see something that this is going to help me win, that's what I'm going to go after. And I thought that was really masterful.
I agree. It's no doubt the expectations are high. I mean, Josh Whitman spoke of national championships, plural. Now, I will say this about Brad Underwood. He instantly lowered the bar. He just said win a national championship. So, right, so they might want to get on the same page there. But, I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on here, right? I mean, this is not just about making the NCAA tournament, something they failed to do here over the last 4 years, as I just mentioned. But this is about raising the bar and getting themselves to a place where in the NCAA tournament era, they are trying to get to and haven't been able to get to.
Well, you know, Dave, if we look around the landscape, let's just look around the Big Ten for a second. What's the last national championship that men's basketball has had in the Big Ten? It was from Maryland, and Maryland wasn't in the Big Ten then. So we've had a dearth of success at the highest level. And when you start to say national championships and you start to put that out there, Josh Whitman is smart. He understands that you got to think it and believe it before it happens. You've got to put that out there. And Shon has done a great job of talking about the identity. They're really connecting a vision. They're birthing a vision for people to get excited about, to get behind, because it may not come next year, it may not come in 3 years, but maybe 4 or 5, you might be looking at Illinois in a situation where they can contend for a Big Ten championship or a national championship, and that's got to excite the fan base.
Yeah, and I think the identity will lead to that ultimate success because, you know, look, we live in a world now where people want to see things visually, and the wins will come. But as we were talking about earlier, Stephen, he can show video to a recruit or members of the current team and say, you see this, you see Juwan Evans, you see this player, this is how I see your role. Helping those young guys say, okay, well, this is what I need to work on. This is what I can do. This is how the situations in which I'm going to be placed, and kind of demystify the whole process. I think that is going to be something that's really important, because that identity that he can bring, and he can say, hey, look, I've done it everywhere. You wanted me to show you something from Stephen F. Austin? I could show you that as well. Right. And we've done it with different types of guys in terms of their athleticism, but we've all tried to accomplish the same thing. And I think he'll have an immediate impact. And as I was watching this press conference, a couple of names on the current squad kind of hopped to mind, because when Illinois started to make that run toward the end of the year, it was on the defensive end of the floor. And if you're a guy like Tejon Lucas or Kipper Nichols, you have to be very excited about this, because he's right up your alley in terms of what he's expecting, and he can make an impact on that end.
Yeah, again, a lot of talk about style of play and a very clearly delineated definition of this is who we are. And I think Josh Whitman talked about it too, identity, that there just hasn't been an identity, really, he said, throughout the athletic department. I mean, again, today we're focusing on basketball, but I know that that was one of his missions when he took over at Illinois just over a year ago, and you're definitely starting to see that start to take shape here, guys, with these 2 hires that he has made. So